Hello everyone, today we're going to learn the concept of how to check an empty list in Python. So the first thing we want to do is put an ls, that way I can check the list of files within the folder called chapter 5. And what I want to do is actually create a file, and the way I do that is put in vi or vim and then give the file a name. So check empty list.py extension, and now we are in our vi editor, and if you notice down here we need to actually type in the I on our keyboard. That way it allows us to insert our script into the vi editor. So after we do that, we want to start writing our Python script. So back to our example, whether you watched the prior video or not, but let's assume we have a pizzeria and we have a list of toppings for our pizza. So let's create a list of toppings. A list actually starts off with 2 brackets and then 2 quotations. So let's say as a pizza shop we have 2 toppings. I don't know if I'll end up with a lot of customers because I only offer 2 toppings, but let's keep it simple. And requested toppings, that's the variable that I'm going to go ahead and assign the list of toppings in which I provide at my pizza shop. So now I want to create a for loop, that way I can iterate through the number of toppings that I have. So for topping in requested toppings print, we are going to say adding topping. Otherwise we're going to now print to the customer to let them know that, hey, we've added cheese, we've added green pepper, and then we want to let them know that your pizza is ready. So let's run this code to make sure that it's actually behaving as expected. So I'm going to click on escape, :x, enter, and up arrow key, and then type in Python 3, enter. And as you can see here, the output in the terminal, adding cheese, adding green peppers, your pizza is ready. So that piece of code is working. So let's go back into our vi editor by clicking the up arrow key and click I to insert. That way our vi editor knows that we want to start inserting text. And the intended purpose of this lesson is to check an empty list. I won't always have these toppings available for my users. It's just the reality of the business. Sometimes we run out. So what we want to do is actually requested toppings equals an empty list. And it's very simple. What we're doing is that we're going to reassign the variable with an empty list and then put a conditional statement before the for loop. So we're going to do a quick check before we jump right into the for loop. And the way we do a quick check is we do if requested toppings : we're gonna need to indent this a bit because this is part of the for loop, right? So we have an if statement, then we have our for loop, and if our list is empty, what do we want it to say to the user? So we have to use an else, which is one of the keywords for an if-else statement. We're gonna now print out a different message for the user because I don't have any more toppings for the user to select from. So what should they do? So I can let them know we are currently out of toppings. Please check again soon. So let's examine this a bit. I put a pound sign to uncomment, to comment this out, meaning it's actually going to skip this line of code. And then what I did is I reassigned my variable with an empty list. So requested toppings has been reassigned with an empty list. And this is how we check whether a list is empty or not. So before we jump into our for loop, we do a quick check. If requested toppings is empty, it's going to actually skip this piece of code block. This code block right here is going to be skipped, and it will jump into the else block and print out this statement to the user. Hey, we're out of toppings. Please try again. So let's run this and see if this works. We're going to click escape, :x enter, up arrow key, run. And as you see here, our script actually works. We are currently out of toppings. Please check again soon. And that's actually how we check whether a list is empty or not, because sometimes that happens for a business. So thank you, and I'll see you guys again soon.